Hey y'all, wake up, man. So today I want to talk about something very vital, right? This is something that's been holding most people back, right? I don't care what career you in. I don't care what you're trying to pursue. I don't care what it is you're trying to do for yourself. If you don't do this, it's a guarantee that you fail, right? One of the major things that I had to do in order for me to cross that hump, right, to be the cycle breaker in my family, to be able to achieve what I have achieved in life and what I'm gonna achieve in the future, I had to forgive my parents. Now, a lot of y'all want to talk about money. You want to talk about making six figures. You want to talk about building credit, entrepreneurship, and all that sexy shit, right? But none of this matters. You can learn about all of that. You can try to be successful. You can try to be an entrepreneur, influencer, all this other stuff, business credit and all that. You can try all that. You can learn about it all. But if you do not forgive your parents, you will never have the tools that you need in order for you to be successful and execute those things, right? There was a time in my life where I had a lot of mental blocks, right? And I realized I had a lot of this little nudge in my stomach. It was always tight, even though I was achieving little goals and going where I was going, right? I realized that I was still angry at my parents. If you don't know, my mom abandoned me at 17, right? And she treated me like the black sheep of the family. She did drugs, was pretty much emotionally absent and physically absent. My dad was absent after the age 9. You know, I was angry at them for a lot of decisions that they made. I was angry at them for divorcing. I was angry at them for not prioritizing the kids, right? They had their own little lives, even though we did live with our mom. She was just never home. She was always out in the club, doing drugs, drinking, whatever, right? I was real angry about that, right? And as an adult, after I went through a bunch of shit, decided I wanted to change my life. But when I did change my life, I had those mental blocks due to all of that, right? So I was very angry at both my parents, right? I was angry at my dad for not fighting for his kids. Once he left around age 9, he kind of really never stepped back into the picture till I was already grown. I held a lot of anger for him, right? That was holding me back. Angry at my mom. What ended up happening is I found out that I couldn't move forward and be successful. I couldn't even enjoy being on vacation. I couldn't even enjoy riding in my nice car. I couldn't even enjoy, spending this quality, great time that I spend with my kids because I was always angry. And that stopped me from doing some of the things I needed to do in order to hit the next level, right? I had to learn to forgive my parents, right? Cole, how do you forgive your parents? Well, check this out. You need to understand that your parents are people too, and they went through shit too. You may know how they was raised. You may heard their version, or you may have your own version of how they was raised based on the interactions you seen them with their parents or their family. But you really don't know, right? I advise that you go through your family, talk to some people that's not gonna speak bad, and see how that parent or those parents that you're angry at, how they was raised. See how they was raised. If they can't tell you themselves, right? If they the type that'll talk to them. See how they was raised, right? You ain't looking for no excuses, but you need to see because they are people too. And I had to realize that. My mother, she's a person as well. She had a certain type of life, and that result, then the results of that was her treating us how she treated us, right? She has her own perspective on life. She's a person. She went through shit too. My dad, he went through shit as well, right? The things they went through made them make some of the choices that they made. Now, granted, they could have went and got some type of help or whatever, but those type of resources wasn't available, let alone they wasn't educated on it, right? This is not an excuse, but what this is you doing the work you have to do on yourself, right? This is what I did. I chose to see why, right? I chose to see why they acted, how they acted. I chose to go, talk to some family members and see how they was raised, or even ask and see how they was raised, just to get some clarity, right? Because I understand trauma, right? Because I had and still have some myself, right? But when you go down this path, I need you to go down this path with an open mind of understanding. You need to understand that your parents are people too. And you got to let go of that anger so you can move forward in your life, right? Some of our parents, maybe they passed away. Some may be not accessible, right, to talk to. So you're going to have to do the work, right? You're going to have to try to find a reason, right, well, I wouldn't say a reason, but you're going to have to find a resource to you trying to figure out who they are, right? Whether you got to go talk to another family member or, like I said, some of them you may be able to still talk to your parent, man, but you got to learn to forgive your parents, man. Because that creates some type of anger. It creates a lot of trauma. It creates a lot of walls. It'll make you antisocial. That ain't good for no career. It'll make you see people a certain way. It'll make you project your trauma on other people. It'll make you a fucked up person, right? You'll look up and you'll be a fucked up person and don't even know it because you're just in response mode to you being angry. You cannot be angry and let that, you can't be hateful and angry on your way to the top, right? People want to play the get back. Oh, I'm mad, right, at my parents, so I'm going to show them. It's not a good way to obtain your success because you're still operating in trauma, right? But I'm telling you this, learn to forgive your parents. Whatever path they take you on. I am not a therapist. Get what you want. Talk about it, right? Hit my link and book a consultation with me. We'll talk about it, right? But you need to forgive your parents. It's not a sexy topic. It's gonna cause you to do some deep work. You're gonna do some goddamn crying. You're gonna do some goddamn soul searching. You gonna be enlightened. You're gonna learn some shit that that you probably needed to learn. But just like you go through shit, your parents went through shit. It's like you may have been raised fucked up. They may have been raised fucked up. Despite what you heard or whatnot, you gotta understand that. And once you understand that, you'll understand why they act some of the ways that they act, why they did some of the things that they did. I'm not saying make an excuse, but it's up to you to do the work on yourself, right? You could control the interactions and the things that happened to you when you was a kid. But you are an adult now. So it's in your hands, right? You got to choose to go do the work so you can let go of that anger so you could be successful in your life, right? I took my shit into my own hands, right? Did what the hell I had to do. That helps me move forward with a clearer mind, and it took that nudge and that anger up out of my stomach, man, and I see things more clear, right? Try that out, man. Y'all like the video, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, wake y'all asses up.